What's happening, road dogs and highway hounds? Man. Big day of crypto yesterday, wasn't it? Had a flash crash. I guess, and I learned this at the chamber meeting by the guy who was talking, because I don't really watch much crypto news, but it was a big day. I learned all this from him, which was kind of unique. He learned a little bit from me too. No, so there's a flash crash with Ethereum. Crashed all the way down to 13 bucks for a second and then back up. That's weird. My buddy was emailing me, Big Coaches. He was emailing me saying, what's going on with Coinbase, blah, 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 and this and that. It's all screwed up. He's just kind of thinking about trading and whatnot. And so that was some news. Then Bitcoin gets SegWit, or it's getting it. I don't know if there's like a week-long, they got to hold on to it for a week like they did with Litecoin, so they might play some things. I thought they had to get 90%, but I guess it's only 80%. I don't know. Whatever. But that Chamber of Commerce meeting was awesome. I was like happy when I left, but I don't want to say too much about specifics, but it was interesting. He was talking about public versus private blockchains, and I got the contact info for him. I didn't get it for the other guy, but we just sat there and talked at the end, and it was like awesome. And the guy's in Rock Island, Illinois, and that's where I'm from, and it's just like, how can you go? Because I mean, I've been in this space for, since late 2011, 2012, and I don't know how long he'd been in there in the space, but it was just interesting because he's like a coder. Now, the thing I'm concerned about is I've listened to this space long enough to know that not everybody that codes is a good coder. So I don't know if he's a good coder, but he's a coder. And then there's a couple guys from the area schools, and they're coders, but I don't think any of them really are fluent in what is it, Python, and then it went Serpent, and then Cerility or something like that. Or I can't remember what the languages are, but I don't think there's anybody in this area that's really fluent in those. And even if you are fluent, you still have to be a good coder, so whatever. And I'm thinking with my business, I need a good coder, but there's hope anyway. I've got somebody that I can use as a resource, and I'm gonna talk to him more. I might even try and talk him into doing some sit down chats on here. I don't think he knows about my channel or anything, or any of them did, but whatever. And but it's like, it's just interesting to me. But they were talking about how, see, now this is the kind of stuff to where you don't hear a lot about it. I mean, I know it wasn't new information to me, but it was for the people that I'm working with, because we tend to forget about this stuff. So say, how like this truck has got a VIN number, right? All your vehicles have a VIN number. You're talking about supply chain management. Well, I'm in logistics. I am a truck driver, so I move things, and that's a little hint about my business. I'm not going to go into that too much yet, but I'm going. It's coming soon. I'll make my announcements and whatnot. I'll start making some. I'll probably do it in a series of announcements. So hit that subscribe button, share this stuff with people, because this is really, this is kind of what I'm talking about. what you do with Bitcoin and Litecoin is you understand there are bankers there, but you be your own bank. And what you do is you start saving your money sensibly, dollar cost average into it, and over 5-10 years, it's going to treat you right. That's what it's designed to do. Quit worrying about all these altcoins and stuff like that. And like I've said before, I don't consider Litecoin an altcoin because there has to be a standard. He was talking about that. There needs to be some kind of a standard. And what it is that if the first app of cryptocurrency is money, use the standard of money that's been around for thousands of years, gold and silver and nickel and copper. And I said something about my nickel thing, and he kind of rolled his eyes, and it was like, oh, what about copper then? Why don't we just do copper? And and it's like, when people just kind of blow you off like that, don't take it personal. Don't get all butt hurt and don't like me or whatever. Understand that they don't understand where you're coming from yet, and you should be able to get that if you're a Bitcoin and Litecoiner, especially if you're a Litecoiner, because you got people like Adam Meister saying that, oh, now we're going to have to be another test net about maybe Litecoin can show some relevancy with being another test net for Bitcoin in some place, because now Bitcoin has SegWit, so we don't need Litecoin anymore. And and I'm not picking on Adam Meister, but it's like, get real, man. You don't see the value of a 1 in 4 relationship. You don't see the value in spreading out the wealth, in slowing down the deflationary roll of Bitcoin. If you don't, go ahead, start buying. You go ahead and start saving all your money in Bitcoin, and I'll hang out on the left side of the decimal point with Litecoin. And the thing is, the new people coming in, I'm thinking Carlos Garcia, he just watched your video this morning. Check him out. Probably won't get a link in below because I got a new phone, so it probably looks different. And man, I can't even freaking check my email anymore, so I'm not going to be commenting. I like answering your comments and interacting. I'll probably be able to read them, but I don't think I'll be able to answer them. Maybe, maybe not. It's going to be a learning curve, and you know me, I suck at computers. So, but what was I talking about? Carlos Garcia. He said he got in it November last year. And if you got in November of last year, Litecoin was at $3, and you guys, I've been in it since 2013, and it was $42 when I started buying, and I bought it all the way down to $1. Don't fall into this euphoria right now with Bitcoin and Litecoin about the prices being up, because like Adam Meister gives a warning, if you need your money, you shouldn't be investing in cryptocurrencies. This is a long-term perspective thing. But be ready for a down market. Down markets aren't scary. Man, I hope it goes to 15. I would love for it to go back down to $4 again, because I know that theory, that philosophy of money, of gold and silver and nickel and copper, is strong. That philosophy, that's the undergirding thing that I'm investing on. Your greenback dollar is nothing, but it used to be a receipt for silver. That's why you think it has value, but it doesn't have. You can't get a piece of silver for it anymore. But our money is still based on that, and a lot of people still think that we have gold and silver backing our currency. We don't. That's a big reason why I got into Bitcoin and Litecoin, is because there's nothing backing it. Another thing that somebody said, this is a different day at the chamber. I'm going to a chamber thing. I'm just like going to Chamber of Commerce all the time. It's so freaking interesting to me. It's just cool. But anyways, so he said there's nothing backing. We need to back it with gold. I even heard William Bentley Blackburn saying, well, it'd be nice if we back it with gold. It's backed by the blockchain. To get on the blockchain, you have to spend money. You have to work. You have to sweat. And you have to, or you can just con people and be their friend and charge them $150. But you have to work. It's not a con, whatever. But I ain't doing it. But anyway, I'm sorry. kind of a jerk. But anyway, I like myself, kind of. Not even most of the time. Well, here lately, I've been pretty friendly to myself, you know. Hey. But, oh man, I'm getting off track. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Oh, backing it. You have to. It's backed by the blockchain. You got to buy into a space on the blockchain. If you've never spent any of your hard-earned dollars on a Bitcoin or a Litecoin, you're not logged into the blockchain. It's backed by the blockchain. It does not have to be backed by gold and silver or anything else. Bitcoin and Litecoin are the assets. They are what it's backed by. It's backed by the network. It's backed by the computing power. It's backed by the work that the miners do. It's backed by the work that I do by putting my money into gold or Bitcoin and Litecoin. That's what it's backed by. Okay, and something else he said yesterday at the meeting. He was talking about, you know, Bitcoin's slow and blah blah blah, and you know, and it doesn't really solve. We've got some problems. Well, that's where my nickel coin concept thing comes into, and I'd like to say that I would not buy any nickel coin, and I would not try to gain any money off of nickel coin, and I would never try to own it. But the problem is, if this philosophy of money works, gold and silver, nickel and copper, you're gonna have to use it. So I'm not gonna say that, but it's not about me making money, or it's not an ICO. I hear ICO, I want to puke. I hope RSK never does an ICO. Just keep the money yourself, or whatever. You know, I mean, these ICOs just got. I'm sick of them. I mean, I don't even pay attention to them, and I'm sick of them. But no, you guys, I'm really excited about the way things are going. But what he was talking about, supply chain management and logistics. Okay, so say this truck goes on the assembly line. It's got a VIN number. Well, instead of a VIN number, you put a Bitcoin address to it. And then when you put the alternator on there, you log what kind of alternator goes on there. You log the fan belt. You log the engine. You log the fuel injectors. You log everything about it, the interior, the stereo, the everything. You log all that stuff on there, and it's like a birth certificate for the vehicle. Okay? And it goes through. See, it doesn't always have to be about money. It's title and asset and transfer. So then it comes off the assembly line, and it's got that address where you can attach value to that address and do things with it. And I'm getting into the part where I'm going to be involved with this stuff, and I'm going to stop right now, but you can kind of get where I'm going with this. Okay? I don't want to give out any of my ideas. But here's the thing. Whatever you do, if you're a roofer, if you're machine operator, if you're an airplane pilot, start saving your money and plan big. And the thing is, when Adam Meister and the Bitcoin maximalists become a Bitcoin Litecoin maximalist, but when those maximalists just dismiss it, don't worry about it, man. I put up with it since 2013, 2014, and it's tough. But you just keep plowing away, and you keep working, and you just keep digging at it, and don't ever give up. And the thing is, if it drops, if Litecoin, and I don't think it will, because I think people are catching on to what this stuff is, but if it does, look at it as an opportunity to get more. And I'm telling you right now, you can buy a Litecoin. You could still buy a Litecoin. You could come up with $50 and get one. You can come up with $200 and get 4, which would be equal to 1 Bitcoin in time when it reaches that 1-in-4 ratio. And I totally believe that it will reach that 1-in-4 relationship. They were talking about, the guy was saying, oh, somebody came along and wanted to buy $20 million worth of it. And he was like, they called him to help him out with it. It's just like, there's so much money coming in here, and most of it's stupid money, especially stuff going into Ethereum with an 80% pre-mine. Come on, get real. Are you that? Oh man, if you're putting money in it, you put money in that, boy, that's sad. That's really sad. But then people are just going into Bitcoin because they don't know what else to go to, which is not a bad idea, but Litecoin's a better one. Adios, muchachos. I'm out of here like a fart in the wind. Goodbye.